The sky was calm that morning. Birds flew. Children laughed. People went to work. No one knew that everything was about to change. It started with a sound, deep and strange. It came from the sky. Then the clouds turned black. Lights in the cities turned off. Above Earth, something huge blocked the sun. A shadow moved across the planet. The aliens had arrived. They didn't talk. They didn't send a message. They just started destroying. One by one, cities fell. First Tokyo, then Berlin, then New York. Their ships were like monsters, dark, silent, and fast. Nothing we had could stop them. Humans fought back. Fighter jets flew. Missiles launched. But the alien ships had shields. Nothing touched them. Our weapons were useless. The world leaders met. They tried to find peace. They sent messages. We don't want war. But the aliens didn't care. They kept attacking. They wanted Earth for themselves. Some people believed it was the end. Others called it the final war. A soldier named Captain Rain watched from a mountain base. He saw flames in the distance. He held his gun tight, but knew it wouldn't help. "These things, they're too strong," he whispered. "They're not fighting for power. They're cleaning us out." In the skies, the alien mothership hovered like a giant black eye. It never moved. It just watched. Smaller ships came from it, flying fast, burning everything in their way. Days turned into weeks. Earth's armies were broken. Only a few places were left, hidden bases, mountain shelters, deep bunkers. In one of those bunkers, a group of scientists worked in silence. They studied the alien tech. They studied their patterns, and they found something strange. Every time the sun came out, the aliens slowed down. Not much, but enough to notice. Their attacks were weaker in daylight. At first, no one believed it. But then one scientist saw it with her own eyes. Her name was Dr. Lena. She watched a security video. In it, an alien walked through a hallway. Then sunlight from a broken window touched its skin. The alien screamed. It dropped to the ground. Its skin bubbled and burned. Then it turned to dust. Dr. Lena stood up. "I think the sun hurts them." Everyone laughed at first. "No way," one said. "They fly in space. They're advanced. How can the sun hurt them?" But Lena kept digging. She tested alien skin samples under UV light. They melted. "It's not just the light," she said. "It's the radiation. Their bodies can't handle it." Suddenly there was hope. Maybe, just maybe, the sun could be used as a weapon. But there was a problem. The aliens were smart. They attacked at night, and their ships made clouds that blocked sunlight during the day. They knew their weakness. Back in the mountain base, Captain Rain got the news. "We need to find a way," he said. "If the sun can hurt them, we'll bring the sun to them." The world had one last chance, one final idea. In the shadows, the humans started working. They built mirrors, lasers, and solar traps. They called it Project Sunfire. But the aliens were moving fast. They were building something big. A new kind of machine, high in the sky. No one knew what it did, yet. Time was running out. Captain Rain looked at the sky. He saw the sun rise. Light touched the ground again. For a moment, everything was quiet. Then a strange sound came from the radio. "We found something," the voice said. A crashed alien drone, burned in sunlight. Dr. Lena picked up the mic. "Bring it in. We need to study every part." The pieces were black, sharp, and hot. Inside was something that shocked them all. A tiny heart, still beating. It was not a machine. It was alive. "Wait," Dr. Lena said. "These ships, they're not just tech. They're part living. They're biomechanical," another scientist added. "They feel pain. They can die." Rain nodded. "Good. Then we'll give them pain. Outside, the sun climbed higher. The light grew stronger. And for the first time in weeks, a smile came to Captain Rain's face. They thought we were weak, he said. But we have something they fear. He looked at the sunlight. We have the sun. The sky was quiet, but no one felt safe. The war was still happening. Cities were still burning. But something had changed. Humans had found the alien secret. Sunlight. It was not just light. It was a weapon. Dr. Lena held the alien heart in her hand. It was still warm. This thing is alive, she said. It's not a full machine. It's part creature. The team was shocked. They thought the ships were just metal and tech. But now they knew the truth. These ships felt pain. And the sun was killing them. Captain Rain stood next to her. If sunlight works, we use it. Whatever it takes. But how? The aliens attacked at night. And during the day, they filled the skies with dark clouds. They were hiding from the sun. In deep bunkers, survivors gathered. They listened to the news. A voice on the radio spoke. There is still hope. If you are alive, move to high ground. Stay where sunlight can reach you. All over the world, small groups of humans started climbing to mountains, deserts, and rooftops. Places where clouds were thin. Places where light could touch the earth. And slowly, the aliens began to change their behavior. They stayed away from sunlit areas. They avoided mountain zones. Some ships flew high, but didn't come close. Humans noticed. They're scared, said a young engineer. Dr. Lena worked day and night. She tested solar panels, lenses, and mirrors. She created a prototype, a small gun powered by focused sunlight. They took it outside. An alien scout drone flew nearby. Captain Rain aimed the gun. The beam hit the drone. The metal hissed. Then the drone caught fire in midair and crashed. It worked. Rain looked at the weapon. We just burned a ship. With the sun. The team cheered. That was the start of something new. They began making bigger weapons. Solar towers, laser fences, heat mirrors, and they made them fast. But the aliens were watching. They had eyes everywhere. Late one night, a group of survivors at a hill station were attacked. The aliens dropped gas bombs and destroyed the solar weapons. A message played on their speakers. We see you. The light will not save you. Dr. Lena heard the message. She stayed calm. They're scared, she said. That's why they're attacking more. Rain looked at a map. Then we need to spread faster, build more light weapons, get to every continent. In South America, teams use mirrors from old telescopes. In Africa, people use solar ovens to make traps. In Asia, engineers turned ancient temples into sunlight hubs. It became a global effort. For the first time in weeks, humanity started fighting back. In one hidden base, a child looked at the sun through tinted glass. Is it our friend now? He asked. His mother nodded. Yes, it's our only friend. Meanwhile, deep in space, the alien leader watched Earth from a dark control room. Its body was tall and thin. Its skin was gray and smooth. It spoke in a sharp, metallic voice. The humans are learning. This cannot continue. Another alien replied, Their star is dangerous. We must block it. The leader nodded. Begin the next phase. Blacken the sky. Back on Earth, the humans didn't know what was coming. They were too busy building, hoping, fighting. Then it happened. One morning the sun didn't rise. Thick, black dust filled the upper sky. Alien machines had released dark particles across the planet. The light was gone. Captain Rain ran outside. He looked up and saw a gray sky where there should have been blue. They're trying to kill the sun. Dr. Lena stared at the readings. UV levels have dropped 90%. Our weapons won't work. Panic spread. Without sunlight, everything stopped. Solar lasers failed. Batteries died. Hope faded. But Rain didn't give up. He pointed to the maps. There are still some clear zones, high mountains, the edge of the atmosphere, space. Then we go there, Dr. Lena said. We fight from the edge of the sky. They started planning. To take the sun back, they would have to go to space. The Earth was dark. The sky, once full of sunlight, now only had clouds. The aliens had won the first battle. But the humans were not finished. Captain Rain stood at the base of a tall mountain. Around him, a small group of soldiers and engineers worked quickly. They were building something that could change everything. We can't wait for the sun to come back, Rain said. We have to bring it back ourselves. Dr. Lena stood beside him, her face tired but determined. We've got solar weapons ready. But now, we need more. We need to attack from space. They had made the first solar guns. They had tested solar mirrors and lasers. But with the sky blocked, all of that was useless. They needed to take the fight higher. Rain looked up at the sky. Space is the only way. We'll have to launch our own satellites and use them to focus the sun's light. We'll bring the sun back to Earth. The team had no time to waste. The aliens were closing in. The plan to reach space. In a hidden underground facility, humans worked with what they had left. Old rockets, broken satellites, and unused military technology. The engineers worked fast, but even they knew it wasn't enough. We need to get these satellites into orbit. We need to turn them into weapons, one of the engineers said. They'll block out the aliens. The plan was clear. Humans would build several solar weapons and launch them into space. Once in orbit, the weapons would focus sunlight down on Earth. But there was a problem. The aliens had control of space. They had satellites too. They had drones. They had fighters that watched the skies. If we don't move fast, they'll stop us before we get a chance, Dr. Lena said. Rain nodded. Then we don't give them a chance. The team worked through the night, building solar platforms, small but powerful. The sun's energy would be focused on Earth. It would burn the alien ships, destroy their control stations, and break the clouds. They couldn't afford mistakes. And they couldn't wait for another sunrise. The battle in the skies. The first rocket launched, carrying the new solar weapon into space. The countdown echoed through the base. 3, 2, 1. The rocket shot up into the sky, leaving a trail of smoke behind. For the first time in weeks, humans had something to look at, something that felt like hope. Rain stood in silence, watching the rocket. We're taking the fight to them, he said quietly. But the aliens were already watching. Up in the darkened sky, alien ships moved quickly. They noticed the humans' rocket launch. Their weapons were ready. The aliens were not going to let Earth's last chance slip away. Rain's voice crackled over the radio. Get ready. The aliens are moving. They'll attack the rocket. The soldiers in the base prepared for a fight. Move fast. Get that satellite in orbit. But before they could react, alien drones shot toward the rocket, aiming to destroy it. One of the soldiers shouted, "They're coming." Then the sound of a blast filled the air. One of the alien ships fired at the rocket, but it was too late. The rocket had already launched past them, heading into space. The battle in the sky was fierce. But Rain and his team didn't stop. They fired lasers at the alien drones. They shot down the incoming missiles. They protected their last hope, the rocket carrying the solar weapon. Up in space, the solar satellite reached its orbit. For the first time, humans could use the power of the sun again. The sun's wrath. The satellite's solar beam aimed at Earth, focusing all the sun's energy into one powerful blast. The beam hit the atmosphere, cutting through the clouds like a sword. On the ground, the sky grew bright again. The clouds slowly broke apart. The light returned. But it wasn't just any light. The beam was a weapon. It burned through the alien ships in the sky. One by one, the alien fighters caught fire. They fell from the sky like falling stars. Rain and Dr. Lena watched as the light spread. The aliens didn't expect this. They couldn't hide from the sun anymore. "They're retreating," Dr. Lena said, a smile creeping onto her face. "Now we have the power." The aliens' response. But the aliens weren't finished. They had one last weapon, something powerful enough to end the fight. As the humans celebrated their first victory, an alarm rang through the base. "Incoming fleet," the radar operator said. "Massive. They're coming from space." Rain turned to Dr. Lena. "We just started a war in the stars, and now they're bringing everything they have." The humans were not ready. The battle was far from over. The aliens had a final plan. They would stop the sun from shining once and for all. The sky was once again dark. The sunlight, which had given Earth hope, was slowly fading away. The aliens had begun their counterattack. Humans had thought they had won. The solar weapons in space were burning the alien ships, forcing them to retreat. But the aliens were far from defeated. They had one final plan, one that could end humanity's last hope. Captain Rain stood in the command center, staring at the dark sky outside. He had hoped that the sun's light would give humanity the power to win. But the aliens had found a way to stop it. "They've got something new," Dr. Lena said, looking at the radar. "The clouds, they're getting thicker. They're blocking out the light again." The human forces looked up in horror as the sky darkened further. The aliens had launched massive satellites, dark, shielded structures that blocked the sun's rays from reaching Earth. The solar weapons in space couldn't work anymore. They were useless. "They're turning off the sun," Rain said, his voice low. "And we don't have much time." The team quickly moved to action. They gathered in a dark room, where the only light came from the glowing screens of their computers. "Without sunlight, we have nothing," one of the soldiers said. "Our weapons won't work. We can't fight back." Rain clenched his fists. "We need to find a way to destroy those satellites. If we don't, the sun will be gone for good." But the alien forces were not far away. Rain knew they had to act fast. The secret weapon. Dr. Lena turned to the team. "We have to hit their satellites. We need something big. Something powerful enough to break through their defenses." Rain nodded. "We've tried everything we know. But they've got shields that block our attacks. It's like they prepared for everything we could throw at them." Then Dr. Lena's eyes lit up. "We haven't tried using our satellites against them. The solar satellites that we launched, that are still in orbit. But they don't have the power to reach the ground." Rain turned to her. "You mean we could use the solar satellites to attack the alien satellites in space?" Dr. Lena smiled. "Exactly. If we can turn them into weapons, we can destroy their shields and take down their satellites. But we need to hack into the system. We need access to their network." Rain's face grew serious. "How do we do that?" She looked at him, determination in her eyes. "We'll have to get close. We'll need to send a team into space." The space mission. The plan was risky. There was no guarantee that it would work, but it was their only chance. Rain and Dr. Lena selected a small team of soldiers and engineers. Their mission was clear: infiltrate the alien network, destroy their satellites, and take control of the solar weapons in space. They would be the first humans to fight the aliens directly in the stars. A rocket was prepared in secret. The crew would travel to the edge of Earth's atmosphere and board the solar satellite, which was still floating in orbit. From there, they would hack into the alien satellites, disable their shields, and launch a full attack. "I know the risks," Rain said to his team as they boarded the rocket. "But we have to do this. If we fail, Earth will be lost." The rocket launched into the darkness of space. The crew looked out at the stars, knowing that this would be the most dangerous mission they had ever faced. As they entered space, they could see the alien fleet hovering in the distance. Their massive ships floated like dark giants in the black sky. The solar satellites were not far behind. The fight for the sun. Once the crew reached the solar satellite, they began their work. They needed to hack into the alien satellites' control systems and destroy the shields that blocked the sun. "We don't have much time," one of the engineers said, typing furiously on the control panel. "The aliens will know we're here soon." Rain and the team watched the monitors. They could see the alien ships moving closer. They had to hurry. The engineers worked as fast as they could. They bypassed the shields, sending waves of solar energy toward the alien satellites. Then it happened. A loud alarm went off and the alien ship started moving toward the satellite. The humans had been discovered. Rain grabbed his weapon. "We have to buy them time." The soldiers opened fire, blasting the incoming alien ships. Explosions lit up the blackness of space as the enemy ships tried to destroy the solar satellite. The humans fought bravely, but they were outnumbered. The alien ships were too many. The fight was becoming impossible. "We're almost there," one of the engineers shouted. The satellite's shields began to weaken. Solar energy started flooding through. The first beam shot out from the satellite and hit one of the alien ships. It exploded in a burst of light. Rain smiled, but he knew the fight wasn't over. The battle was far from won. The alien counterattack. The aliens reacted fast. They sent more ships toward the solar satellites, determined to stop the humans from taking control. The human crew fought harder, but the alien forces were relentless. One by one, their ships were destroyed. Rain's team was running out of time. The sun's light was weakening again, and the alien ships were closing in fast. "We have to finish this," Rain yelled. "Now." Dr. Lena's fingers flew across the control panel. With one last powerful command, she activated the final solar weapon. A massive burst of solar energy shot toward the alien satellites. The shields shattered. The satellites exploded. The sky above Earth started to clear. For the first time in weeks, the sun shone brightly. Rain looked out the window of the solar satellite, watching as the alien ships scattered. The sun had won. But the battle wasn't over yet. "We've got one more fight ahead," Rain said, his voice steady. "The aliens won't stop until we're finished, but we've just taken back the sun, and we're not giving it up." The sun was back. For the first time in weeks, the Earth saw light once more. The solar weapons in space had destroyed the alien satellites. The clouds were parting, and the sky was turning blue again. But the humans knew this was only a small victory. The aliens were far from defeated. They had only backed off temporarily. The real fight had just begun. Captain Rain stood in the command center, looking at the map of Earth. The aliens weren't leaving. They were planning something big. And humans had no choice but to prepare for the worst. "We've won one battle, but we're nowhere near done," Rain said, his voice serious. "Now we need to take the fight to them. We need to hit them hard and fast." The alien counterattack. The alien fleet regrouped in deep space, far beyond the Earth's atmosphere. They were preparing for the final assault. The humans had just destroyed their most important satellite defenses, and now the aliens were desperate. In the alien command center, the leader, a tall figure covered in black armor, looked out at the screens. "The humans are stronger than we thought," the leader said, his voice cold. "We cannot let them keep the sun. We will crush them before they become a real threat." The alien fleet began to move. They had a new weapon. A massive planet destroyer cannon, one that could wipe out entire cities in seconds. "We will make them regret this war," the alien leader said. "The sun will be ours again." The human response. Back on Earth, Rain's team knew the aliens were preparing something huge. The human forces were spread thin across the planet. Some were in space, holding on to their solar satellites. Others were still on the ground trying to rebuild. Dr. Lena walked into the command room, holding a small tablet. "We intercepted their communication," she said. "They built something massive, a weapon powerful enough to destroy an entire city." Rain stared at the screen. The aliens were planning to fire a deadly weapon at Earth, one that could wipe out everything in its path. "We can't let them use that weapon," Rain said, his voice filled with determination. "We need to destroy it before it's too late." But the clock was ticking. The weapon was almost ready. Operation Sunstorm. The human forces had one chance. They had to launch a full assault against the alien fleet in space before the weapon was activated. Rain turned to his team. "Operation Sunstorm is a go. We're going after the alien weapon." The plan was simple: strike fast, strike hard. The humans would use their solar satellites and weapons to overwhelm the alien fleet. They would target the planet destroyer weapon and destroy it before it could fire. Rain knew it would be a dangerous mission. The alien fleet was massive, and their new weapon was terrifying. But the humans had one advantage: the power of the sun. Dr. Lena looked at Rain. "We have everything we need. The solar satellites are ready. We just need to get to the aliens before they launch their weapon." Rain nodded. "Let's go. We can't wait any longer." The final battle in space. The human forces launched their final assault, flying into space with the solar weapons in tow. The sky was dark with the shadows of alien ships, waiting for their moment to strike. Rain's team moved into position, their solar satellites firing powerful beams of sunlight at the alien ships. The light cut through the dark space, burning the alien fleet as they tried to regroup. But the alien fleet was strong. They fought back fiercely, firing energy blasts at the humans. "Hold your positions," Rain shouted. The humans returned fire, using their solar lasers to break through the alien shields. The battle was chaos. Explosions rocked the space around them, and debris from destroyed ships floated through the air. The human fighters dodged enemy blasts, using the solar weapons to attack at full force. But the alien planet destroyer weapon was still there, hidden in the heart of the enemy fleet. The humans needed to get to it before it fired. "We need to reach that cannon," Dr. Lena yelled. "If we don't stop it, everything is lost." Rain and his team pushed forward, blasting through the alien defenses. The sun's power was on their side, but the aliens were relentless. Each step forward felt like a struggle, and they were running out of time. The final countdown. The alien weapon powered up. The massive cannon started to glow with dark energy. The humans were getting closer, but the aliens were prepared to fire at any moment. 5 minutes, one of the soldiers shouted. "We need to stop it now." Rain's heart raced as he and his team fought their way through the alien fleet. The closer they got, the harder it was to survive. But they couldn't stop now. The fate of Earth depended on this moment. With one final push, Rain and Dr. Lena reached the heart of the alien fleet, where the planet destroyer cannon was located. The cannon was massive, its dark energy swirling in the center. Rain aimed the solar weapon. "We have to destroy it now." Dr. Lena's fingers flew over the controls, locking onto the cannon's core. A bright beam of solar energy shot out, striking the alien weapon. The cannon exploded in a burst of light, sending shockwaves through the space around them. Victory. The alien fleet started to fall apart. Without their planet destroyer weapon, they were defenseless. The human forces pressed their advantage, using the power of the sun to destroy the remaining ships. The aliens had lost. Rain stood in the command center, watching the battle unfold on the screens. "We did it. We stopped them." Dr. Lena smiled. "We took back the sun." The Earth was safe once more. The sky was clear, the sun shining down on a world that had fought and won. The humans had defeated the aliens and proven that nothing could stop them when they fought together. But Rain knew that peace was temporary. The aliens would be back, and humanity would need to be ready. "We've won this battle," Rain said. "But the war is far from over. We'll be ready. The sun is ours." The Earth was free. The sky was clear. The sun shone down, warm and bright once again. For the first time in months, humanity felt safe. But Captain Rain knew better. The victory had come at a high cost. The alien fleet had been destroyed, their planet destroyer cannon shattered. But the aliens had been watching, waiting for the right moment to strike back. And that moment was almost here. The aliens' final move. On the edge of space, deep within alien-controlled territory, the alien leader stood before his war council. His armor was covered in scars from the recent battles. His cold eyes burned with fury. "We underestimated them," he said, his voice full of hatred. "But we will not make the same mistake again. This time we will finish what we started." He turned toward a large screen showing the images of Earth. "The humans think they've won, but they are wrong. We still have one final weapon, and this time we will destroy their sun." The final weapon. Back on Earth, Rain and Dr. Lena were in the command center, studying the latest reports. "They're planning something," Dr. Lena said, her voice shaky. "We intercepted a transmission. They're building another weapon, something even worse than the last one." Rain's eyes widened. "What are they planning?" "They're targeting the sun itself. If they destroy the sun, there will be no Earth, no humanity, no life." Rain clenched his fists. They will not win. Not this time. But the alien weapon was already in motion. The aliens had built a massive, powerful ship, one capable of flying straight into the heart of the sun. Once they reached the sun, they would unleash a devastating attack that would burn out the sun's core. The Earth would be left in darkness forever. "We need to stop them before they can get to the sun," Rain said. "This is it. This is the last stand." The final battle. Rain and Dr. Lena quickly gathered their best team. The mission was simple: destroy the alien weapon before it reached the sun. But this time, the mission was unlike any other. The stakes were higher than ever before. The human fleet assembled, ready for one last fight. Rain stood in front of his team, his voice calm but determined. "This is our final chance. If we fail, everything we fought for will be lost. The sun is our power, our hope. We cannot let them take it." The fleet launched into space. The alien ship, a massive warship capable of traveling straight through the solar system, was already on its way to the sun. Rain's team moved into position, ready for the greatest battle of their lives. The space battle. The alien warship was unlike anything the humans had ever seen. It was enormous, bristling with weapons and shields. But the humans were not afraid. They had the sun's power on their side. The battle began. The human fleet attacked, firing solar-powered lasers at the alien ship. The alien ship fired back with beams of dark energy, powerful enough to destroy entire fleets. Explosions rocked space as both sides fought with everything they had. Rain's ship dodged an incoming blast. "We can't let them get any closer to the sun," he said, his voice steady. The alien warship was slowly advancing. It was clear they were heading straight for the sun's core. "Target the shields," Dr. Lena shouted from the control panel. "We need to break through." Rain nodded and gave the command. The solar lasers fired with precision, cutting through the alien ship's defenses. But it wasn't enough. The alien ship was heavily protected. "We need to disable their weapons," Rain said. "Move in close." The human fleet pushed forward, getting closer to the alien ship. The alien weapons fired relentlessly, but the humans kept moving, attacking with every ounce of energy they had left. A desperate gamble. Rain knew there was no time to waste. The alien ship was close, and if they didn't stop it now, the sun would be destroyed. "We're going to have to board their ship," Rain said, his eyes burning with resolve. "We'll take the fight to them." The team prepared to board the alien ship. It was a risky move. If they failed, they would be lost in space. But Rain knew they had no other choice. The human fighters flew toward the alien warship, docking with its outer hull. Rain and his team suited up, ready for the final assault. The air was thick with tension. "Stay focused," Rain said as the team prepared to board. "We do this together, or we don't do it at all." The final showdown. Inside the alien ship, Rain's team fought their way through alien soldiers, each battle more intense than the last. The ship's corridors were dark and cold, filled with the sounds of explosions and gunfire. The alien forces were desperate, trying to stop the humans from reaching the weapon. Rain and Dr. Lena fought their way to the heart of the ship, where the final weapon was located. It was a massive cannon aimed directly at the sun. Rain took a deep breath. We're almost there. The alien leader appeared, his eyes full of hatred. You think you can stop me? The sun will be mine. Rain stepped forward. Not today. In a final act of bravery, Dr. Lena hacked into the weapon's control system. The cannon began to power down. No, the alien leader shouted. This is not over. But it was. Rain and his team fought one final battle to destroy the weapon and shut down the alien ship. The aliens were defeated. A new dawn. With the alien warship destroyed, the sun was saved. The Earth was safe. Humanity had won the final battle. The aliens were gone, and their threat was over. Rain and Dr. Lena stood together, watching the sunrise over Earth. The sky was bright, the sun shining down on a world that had survived the darkest of times. We did it, Dr. Lena said, her voice soft. Rain nodded. We fought for this, and we've won. The sun was back, shining brighter than ever. But Rain knew one thing for sure. Humanity would never stop fighting to protect their home, their sun.